Summary of To Kill a Mockingbird by Harper Lee, a story of courage, justice, and morality. To Kill a Mockingbird by Harper Lee is a deeply powerful novel that explores themes of racism, justice, and moral growth. Set in the small, racially divided town of Macomb, Alabama, during the 1930s, it follows the coming-of-age story of Scout Finch, a young girl, and her brother Jim, as they experience the complexities of the world around them through the eyes of their father, Atticus Finch, a principled lawyer. Through a gripping narrative, Lee brings readers into a world where moral integrity is put to the test and where prejudices and injustices are prevalent. The story is told from the perspective of Scout, looking back on her childhood from an adult's point of view. The events of the story shape her understanding of human nature, fairness, and the harsh realities of the world. The Finch family and Macomb's social structure. At the heart of the novel is the Finch family. Atticus Finch, a widowed father and lawyer, is the moral compass of the story. He is known for his wisdom, empathy, and commitment to justice. Scout, his young daughter, and her older brother, Jim, live in a world where racial segregation and social divisions define the town's fabric. Though Macomb's white residents uphold a veneer of civility, beneath the surface, tensions run high, particularly between races. Atticus is appointed to defend Tom Robinson, a black man accused of raping a white woman, Mayla Ewell. This case is the central conflict of the novel and forces Scout, Jim, and the rest of the town to confront their biases, moral beliefs, and the impact of prejudice on the justice system. The trial of Tom Robinson. Tom Robinson's trial is a climactic event that exposes the deep-rooted racism in Macomb. Despite clear evidence that Tom did not commit the crime, the prejudices of the town's white residents work against him. Mayla Ewell, the young woman accusing Tom, lies about the events of the evening. In reality, she is likely the one who made advances on Tom, but her father, Bob Ewell, cannot bear the shame of his daughter being involved with a black man, so he accuses Tom of rape. Atticus Finch, determined to give Tom a fair trial, presents a compelling case that demonstrates Tom's innocence. He points out the lack of evidence and shows that Mayela's father, Bob, likely beat her in a drunken rage. Despite this, the jury convicts Tom, driven by racial prejudice rather than justice. The trial leaves a lasting impact on Scout and Jim, who struggle to reconcile the ideas of fairness and justice with the reality of the deeply biased society they live in. The impact on the Finch children. While the trial and its aftermath are central to the narrative, much of the story's emotional weight is carried by the experiences of Scout and Jim. Their perception of their father shifts when they see him stand up for what is right, even in the face of overwhelming opposition. They are forced to grow up quickly as they witness the ugly side of human nature, the cruelty of racism, the failure of the justice system, and the intolerance of people who challenge the status quo. One of the key lessons imparted by Atticus is that it is important to stand up for what is right, even when the odds are against you. He teaches his children that people should be judged by their actions, not by the color of their skin or their social status. Throughout the novel, he acts as a moral guide, reminding his children and the readers that courage doesn't mean physical strength, but the moral resolve to do what is just, regardless of the consequences. Boo Radley, the mystery unveiled. In parallel with the trial of Tom Robinson runs the subplot of Boo Radley, an enigmatic neighbor whom Scout, Jim, and their friend Dill obsessively try to learn more about. Boo, who never leaves his house, is the subject of local gossip and children's superstitions. To Scout and Jim, Boo represents the unknown and mysterious, an almost mythical figure who is both feared and revered. Over time, the children's view of Boo changes as they realize that he is not the monster the rumors suggest. Boo secretly watches over the children and leaves them small gifts in the hollow of a tree, revealing his kindness and desire to connect. In the novel's climax, Boo becomes a symbol of the themes of empathy and understanding. When Bob Ewell, humiliated by the trial and seeking revenge, attacks Scout and Jim, Boo emerges from his reclusive home to save them. He kills Bob Ewell in the process, an act of protection and compassion. Boo's final act underscores one of the novel's most important messages. Appearances are often misleading, and judging others based on rumors or assumptions can lead to misunderstandings. Scout's realization that Boo, the person she once feared, is in fact a gentle, caring soul, represents her growth in the development of her understanding of morality. The themes of racism, justice, and empathy. At the core, To Kill a Mockingbird is the exploration of racism and justice in the American South. Through Tom Robinson's trial and the characters' interactions with one another, the novel illustrates how systemic racism affects individuals and communities. Tom's conviction, despite his innocence, highlights the profound injustice that African Americans faced during the time period. This theme of racial prejudice is woven throughout the narrative, with Atticus serving as a beacon of integrity and moral courage in the face of societal opposition. Another central theme is the loss of innocence, particularly for Scout and Jem. The events of the novel force them to confront the dark side of human nature, including hatred, injustice, and the failure of the legal system. However, the story is not entirely bleak. Through Atticus's guidance and the small acts of kindness from people like Bradley, the novel offers hope that understanding and empathy can combat hate and prejudice. The legacy of To Kill a Mockingbird. To Kill a Mockingbird continues to resonate because it deals with issues that are still deeply relevant today, from racism and inequality to the importance of moral courage. It remains one of the most widely read and taught books in American literature, offering lessons in justice, empathy, and standing up for what is right. In a world where prejudice and injustice still persist, To Kill a Mockingbird serves as both a mirror and a call to action. The novel encourages readers to look beyond societal expectations and challenge the biases they encounter in their own lives. Like Atticus, we are called upon to be brave and uphold justice even when it is difficult, uncomfortable, or unpopular. Conclusion. In the end, To Kill a Mockingbird is more than just a story about a trial or a family's journey through childhood. It is a profound reflection on human morality and the fight for justice in an imperfect world. It teaches readers to look beyond surface-level judgments and consider the complexities of people's lives. It challenges us to confront our own biases, recognize the humanity in others, and always strive for fairness and equality. The legacy of To Kill a Mockingbird is not merely in its portrayal of historical injustices, but in its invitation for readers to take action, to challenge racial prejudices, stand up for the marginalized, and embrace empathy in our everyday lives. By telling the story of Scout, Jem, and Atticus Finch, Harper Lee inspires each of us to carry the torch of justice, compassion, and courage in our own journey through life.